Welcome. Welcome to your upgrade of your elimination organs and liver. So we added the liver here. It's a big topic all on its own. So this may be a couple hours today. So hang tight here. We've got a lot packed in for elimination organs. We have the liver, and then we have the colon, and that's a huge one all on its own too, right? And then the lungs and the kidneys and bladder. So we have five of your heavy-hitting organs here that we're going to be working on today. So they're all eliminating things from your body. Skin would be another one. That would just be a whole other thing to get into. But we've got 5 big ones right here. So drink some water. Get plenty of water today because we're going to be letting out a lot of things that are, detox type things. So you don't want to, have detox symptoms, right? So drinking water would be the best thing. So I brought water in with me, and it's like right behind my monitor. So if you don't mind, grab it. Everybody else go get their water too. If you don't have it right now, it's a great time to go fill up. So I've got, here it is. Okay, it's very important so that we've all got that. Fall into my chair, and now we can get going, right? Okay, so everybody hydrate. All right, so upgrading your elimination organs. You're in the right spot today. So let's look at, I'm Marlene Allen. I am the owner of Your Body Power. I'm a certified master quantum health activator and many more things. I specialize in midlife makeovers that reverse the debilitating effects of midlife aging. So let go of what doesn't belong with love and quantum activations, of course. So quantum energy, that's what we're going to be working with today. So it transcends time and space. It's the actual healing and activation that happens in the past, in the present, and the future. It's all on the same continuum. Okay, so what we do now is going to affect everything on your continuums, right? So by tapping into the life force energy of your body and activating the intended beauty, love, and perfection of the optimally healthy human stem cell and using that to multiply into the surrounding cells of the organs to create a new growth of healthy cells. And that will replace these sick and old compromised cells and do an upgraded version, a healthy version that your body responds to, matching the beauty, love, and perfection of your own divine template. Okay, and the highest and best from God's source, right to you. So that's what we're doing today. And you'll notice the improvement here continuing over the course of days, of course, and you'll see some things and you'll notice some things right away. But then over weeks, you will be noticing maybe some other improvements or shifts or changes that you didn't recognize off the bat, right? So, and even months down the road, right? Some organs can take quite a while because they're dense, like the liver, for example, very dense, but it does heal quickly. It's just that because we're in 3D, we're in a 3D body, so we have 3D organs, and so we're working in these 3D time frames, right? So outside of that, I don't use that as an excuse. We're speeding this up and we're requesting it right now, right? So anything from now till whenever your 3D body actually, replies and responds, right? So that's what we're working in. So let the quantum energy clearings begin. Clearing and prep work I've already completed, and a lot of things I've already been working in, right? Clearings around the ability to have a fully optimal, fully functioning liver, colon, lungs, kidneys, and bladder. We're going for free of inflammation, infections, cancer, programs, dark energies, all that, right? So also looking at things in your blood and clearing on that for a while, any type of agreements that you made to maybe things that, reasons that you would to be ill or, benefits that you would get from that if you did not get, if you weren't in that situation. So those are things that we can clear on. Anything around you believing that you are less than what you really are and oh, it's my whatever acting up again, or it's my it's my infection, or it's my illness. Well, first of all, take the word my out of there, because we're not personalizing this. We are not accepting it as something that you own. This is not for you to have. Okay, you don't want to have this, right? So taking the words, the personalization and owning the ownership out of these words that you use, because the words have frequency and vibration here, as we'll see in just a minute. Your energy centers, chakras, auras, this is the areas that I'm clearing. As a matter of fact, I think we should go through a little clearing here and something to get us grounded and able to accept all of the regeneration the way in an optimal fashion that I have in mind. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths in, or one deep breath in and one deep breath out. And again, in and out. Very good. Okay, so let's close our eyes. And we can pretend that we are sitting in a lawn chair in our backyard or at the lake or wherever you're comfortable. Your feet are barefoot and they are on the earth, directly on the earth. The receptor sites in the bottom of your feet right now are picking up the electrons coming up from Mother Earth. Healing energy, grounding you to Mother Earth. We're connecting now to Mother Earth. Beautiful healing energy coming up from the earth in through your feet, into the toes, into the feet, into the ankles, the shins, the calves, up through the knees. This energy is coming up the legs, to the hips, and into the pelvis area. We are going to, right now, we are clearing and balancing out this root chakra area. All the energy is there. Anything that doesn't belong, all dark energies, all anything to do with fear. Let's let that go. Let's just send a grounding rod. Here, we're going to connect up a grounding rod from our bodies and the energy bodies into the earth. So we're going to call that a grounding rod, and we're just going to send all the energies here that aren't yours, dark stuff, it doesn't belong. Let's just send that down that grounding rod into the center of the earth. All that energy is going straight into the earth. Beautiful. Let's get this root chakra balanced here. Very nice. All right. This energy is in the pelvis area. It is clearing, cleansing the sacral chakra. Very good. This area is for pleasure. It is for creativity, playfulness, happiness, and bliss. So often we're so serious as adults, we don't play as we should. This second chakra, I see it all the time. It's compromised in the majority of people, men and women. But women, this is our creativity here. This is where we create from. This is where we heal from. This is where we do, we're making a beautiful dish for dinner, right? We create it from here. This is our creativity. And we pull this energy in now, this beautiful, creative, optimal healing energy here, and claim it as our own, letting anything that does not belong. Oh, all failure. Let's send all this, any energies here that do not belong. Let's send it down the grounding rod into the center of the earth. Beautiful. All right, this beautiful healing energy is coming up the legs. It is in the solar plexus now. Clearing, cleansing, balancing, healing everything in this willpower, our will, our self-esteem center here. everything in this area, all the organs and glands, anything that doesn't belong, the dark energies, send it down the grounding rod into the center of the earth. Let's let all the energy from our adrenals, all the energy from our nervous system, let it all drain any excess down to the center of the earth. Letting all that energy just flow out. That's not required. That's excess energy, worrying, busyness, stress. Whew. Let all that thinking, all that go down, down, center of the earth. Beautiful. Let's bring in more of that earth energy now, up through. We're into the heart center. Oh, clearing and cleansing, balancing this beautiful heart space energy. Let's let all failure energy go down into the center of the earth. All non-acceptance. Very nice. Opening up this heart space, opening up the lungs, breathing through the diaphragm, letting go of distrust, letting go of grief. Trust in ourselves. Let's bring that back in. Breathe into life. Very good. Letting more of this beautiful healing energy coming up the feet from Mother Earth now is up into the throat area. Cleaning, clearing, cleansing, balancing out this throat chakra, allowing us to speak our truth. Beautiful. All energy that does not belong, sending it down to the center of the earth. Now is the time for us to gain this wisdom, bring this wisdom in through the crown and speak it. Speak our truth. Very nice. Beautiful earth healing energy now coming through the arms, the fingers, up the back. Healing, clearing, cleansing. Now it's up into the shoulders, going up the jaw, nasal, behind the eyes, and now we're in this third eye area. Clearing, cleansing, balancing this chakra, the front and the back, bringing vision and beauty back in and letting go of anything that doesn't belong. Sending it into the center of the earth. Beautiful. Bringing this healing energy up through the feet, the center of the earth, up all the way now into the top of our head, now into the crown. Beautiful healing energy here. Opening up the crown to wisdom, to source, connection to ourselves. Beautiful. Clearing, cleansing. Nice. And this energy is coming up now from the crystalline center of the earth, up through our feet, all the way up our body, coming out the top of our head. And now, a sprinkler, a lawn sprinkler. And it sprinkles beautiful, pure, clean energy coming down around our aura. All the layers of our aura now being cleansed and cleared. Beautiful. Letting go of all dark energies, letting everything that doesn't belong, sending it down to the center of the earth. Very nice. Ooh. All right, so 1, One more area here we want to work in. Now we want to bring in some beautiful healing sun through the crown. We want to bring this in. It's healing energy. Let it go all the way through the head, the jaw, into the shoulders, into the arms, the fingers, coming down the chest, down the back. Beautiful healing sun energy, beautiful golden sun energy coming through, making its way down the center of your chest, torso, solar plexus, sacral, into the root now, the pelvis, the hips, down the legs, and the knees, clearing, cleansing everything on its way down, the shins, the ankles, the feet, and all your toes. Beautiful healing energy. Now let's bring our spirit all the way back into our bodies. We're about 34% in our body right now of the spirit, okay? So let's go ahead and see our little spirit is a mini me, and it is sitting on top of your head on a nice little magic carpet, just real comfortable there, just kind of hanging out, doing what it does, all clean, clear, all in perfect shape. All of its chakras or layers are all cleansed, just beautiful there on that magic carpet. And now we're going to lower the magic carpet so the spirit is now coming into the crown of her head, bringing the spirit in through behind the eyes now, animating your head, and through the jaw, into the neck, to the shoulders, coming into your arms. All 10 fingers now filled in with spirit. Spirit lowering still as it's coming into the chest. The torso coming down. It's filling in your back very nicely. All areas here into the solar plexus, into the sacral area and the hips. Lowering still now. Down the legs, down the knees, down the shins, calves, the ankles, and into the feet, and all 10 toes are all filled in now with spirit. Ooh, 100% in the body. We can feel the skin from the inside out, just like a balloon. Our spirit is totally 100% inside and enjoying its lively animation, experiencing all the experiences of your beautiful life. All right, all the way in. Very nice. Life force. Life force 100%, chakras all 100, auras all 100, no attachments. We cleared those earlier. All right, yes, very good. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Take a couple of deep breaths. And we've been working there. All right, life force is at 100%. This is the physical energy to the body, and it is the secret to longevity. We do require this life force. Here is the chart of our frequency of vibration, and this is in energy, so it's an energetic signature of who you are right now. Now, of course, this can change a little bit since energy can change from day to day kind of thing. So you want to keep your frequency up there, right? You want to keep your vibration resonating at a very optimal level. Okay, so in level, I don't even care for that, but in an optimal way. So as you can see at the bottom of this chart, some very low frequency vibrational emotions, right? So anytime that you're in fear or anger, jealousy is not even on the chart, it's so low. Whenever you're there, you're bringing that frequency of vibration down, and that's where the suffering and I'm just getting by and everything hurts and nothing works for me, right? That's why. That's because your frequency is there, right? So if you can at least just get up to neutral and just be not emotional, I'm just observing, isn't that interesting? Okay, well, we'll go from here, do it differently, whatever it is. If you can just go to that willingness of being neutral, then you're good, right? But we really want to get a little higher than that. We want to get into the flow, right? That's where love or above, that's where the things start working for us in synchronicities. Things start coming to us, our desires, right? We put out what we want and things really make their way back to us, and that's hardly work at all, right? So it's it's physical, it's emotional, it's mental, it's everything, right? So it's even your finances, money comes, it's everything happens when you have a resonance of that higher frequency, right? So, and by doing what we're doing here today, we are definitely going to be increasing this for you, because all the stuff that doesn't belong, all this dark stuff, whenever you let it out of your cells, that's when now you've got room. Whew, we can get lighter. We're lighter now. Whoa, we let all that heavy, dark density stuff out of our cells. Now we can float. We can get up to where we want to be, right? Happier cells, happier resonance. So yes, so let's check too. I'm also working in areas, make sure that we have all the clearings complete. All right, so this would be for inflammation, working there. Okay, yeah, elimination programs around that and so forth. Okay, in general, DNA programs for these things, or restrictions surrounding elimination, whatever those would be. Let's let those go. Inflammation, let's let all those faulty programs go. Very nice, very nice, very nice. All right, very good. All right, I think we can move into the liver. We're not going to move into the liver, but we are going to be going in to the liver, into your cells here in just a little bit, to find whatever has been causing your liver to function not optimally as we want it to be. So we're looking at dark energies here affecting the liver and the colon, cleaning out any low vibrational emotions for distrust. Yep. That's more for lungs too. And the impact of choices and experiences that have held you back or kept you stuck. Yep. All right. So once this energy field is clear here, we're working symptoms of an overwhelmed liver. Working in the cells right now to get this liver up to where we want it to be. And then we'll go into the actual regeneration when we are complete here. So also I just want to make note that we do have a chat box. If oh, thank you guys for helping people out in the chat box. Okay. Connecting the broadcast. Okay, so if you cannot connect, you may need to do a come back into the link again. If there's people that cannot connect, I know you're on the phone line, but if you're just getting a spinny thing, you may need to go back out, click the link again, and come back in. Okay, or just refresh your screen with that little refresh arrow thing on your browser. So I hope you can all connect that way, okay? And if not, there's definitely going to be a replay of this, so you will see the video just shortly after it renders here when we're complete. So I hope you can all get on, but it looks like other people are on. So yeah, okay. All right, so, but if you do want to put something in the chat box, an issue that maybe I didn't cover, for clearing or something, that's something that came up, individually for you, that would be fine. You can put it in there, or, if you're accessing the recording, you can imagine yourself healing yourself, okay, and your ailment melting away or disappearing. That can help open your mind to the possibility of being healed, and it can also lead to faster results. And, a lot of times people with a chronic condition, they can't really see themselves or their lives without that condition. So that could actually slow healing once they allow old thought patterns around that illness to continue, people can get attached to the negative experiences that they've had in their past. Sometimes they can get so caught up in those experiences that they just stick to them, right? So if that's you, you might want to book yourself a session with me or another Your Body Power expert here, because we can actually get to the root of and clear your particular issue for you personally. So, and I've read most everybody here, right? Everyone that registered, I read you and added these things to the list so that we can clear them for you personally. But there are other things that we can get revealed on a one-to-one situation, go a lot more deeper. So, and see what other types of things that come up for completion for you as an individual. So, so let's go through and just to understand that the consciousness, everything begins with your consciousness, and everything that happens in your life, everything happens in your body, begins with something happening in your consciousness. Yeah, I have. Okay, anybody that says that they cannot connect, yeah, please log out, close the window completely, and then come back in. Yeah, and that is, thanks Tracy for putting the code. Just call into that phone number and putting in that PIN code 015834, calling into 206-402-0100, and getting on the phone lines. I don't see a problem at all here, and I know that there are people who have connected. So there may be, you know what, there is something going on with CenturyLink having telephone problems nationwide. I don't know if that's you, what you have, but if that's what's going on, it said recommend connecting via the phone instead of the the web call. So but regardless, I'm going to continue on because we have a lot to cover, and you will get the video. Okay. And it doesn't make a difference. I'm clearing you the same regardless because you're registered, you're here with me, and I've got you all included. So it doesn't make a difference. Yeah. Okay, good. Phone's good for you. Okay, great. So everything begins with your consciousness. Everything happens in your life. Everything that happens in your body begins with something happening in your consciousness. It's who you really are. It's energy. It fills your entire body, and it's connected to every cell in your body. So that means you can communicate with every cell in your body and with every organ and tissue. And that's what I do with quantum entanglement, to be able to create a desirable result for you. So just know that the direction of manifestation is from your consciousness, right? So your thoughts, whatever's going on in your consciousness, through to the energy field, that's your chakras and aura and so forth, then to the physical. So any change of consciousness, like if you change your thoughts or beliefs, right, that will create a change in your energy field, right? Either balancing your chakras or throwing them out of whack, depending on what's going on in your consciousness. And then those energy fields then will change in those, then will certainly then happen before any change in the physical body then will occur, right? So it could be emotional stuff going on, and that makes changes in the physical. Always, always it happens that way. Never started in the physical. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So let's go into your best friend, the liver. Okay. It's the reason you're still alive. It has your back. It always has. It always will. And that's as long as you take care of it. So if you want to be someone or make a difference in the world, or, maybe you want to just be able to function, how are you going to do this if you're limited by fatigue or anxiety or brain fog or weight gain, high blood pressure, mood swings, bloating, or constipation? So once you experience these symptoms, the liver has already become compromised and is calling for help. So oftentimes people mistake this for other problems. Maybe, I ate something wrong, or I didn't get enough sleep. But to keep you balanced, it's a workhorse, and it will never give up on you, ever. So if you're hot, the liver kicks in and takes on the heat to cool you. And when you need energy to complete your job, the liver will release its stores of glucose to get you through it. And if you smoke, the liver absorbs those chemicals into itself to protect you from getting them into your bloodstream. And if you eat meat or fried food, your liver will break down all those trans fats to protect you. And if you're frightened at night walking down a street, the liver will release its stored adrenaline to give you the strength to be able to save yourself. So you can thank your liver for all of those things that we just take for granted most all every day, right? So here's the questions. If your liver is not up to 100%, which I didn't find anybody's yet that was, so these are some questions you can take offline if you'd like a little bit later on. I'll read them through right now. However, what will it take to bring more balance into my life? What would it take to have the courage to stand up to the monster I do not want to see? What lie do I keep feeding myself that is keeping me stuck running in circles? What will it take to be more truthful about myself, how I create poor outcomes? What will it take to get the assistance I need to put my goals into action? What will it take to finally be free of the regret from past choices? And what would my life look like if I knew I had total authority and support to create what I want? What is required for me to completely detach from my past perceptions about myself and how my life has unfolded so I can create everything anew? What will it take to totally pardon all the people I have held hostage for their infractions and infringements towards me? And what will it take for me to be more truthful about what is required to have the success I desire? And the affirmation around that, we can say it all together if you'd like. I am impeccably truthful with myself as I go about creating the life I desire. I am free of all the people, choices, and experiences that have held me back in the past. And thank you, Wendy Jensen, for those beautiful questions. Anatomy of the liver, it's the most largest organ, abdominal organ in the body, mainly on the right side of your body, just below the diaphragm, weighs about 3 pounds. There's 3 lobes to it. It covers up the gallbladder. It's a processing center for anything that enters the body. And processing fat is one of the main jobs while protecting the pancreas. Number 1. That's its job. Protect you and the pancreas. When your liver is improved, you feel happier. That's what we're going for here, right? So the lobes of the liver are a series of functional units called lobules. And some of this, I'm going to let you just kind of go through the replay and look at the slides and read it through yourself. If you'd like, it's just kind of a, biology 101 on the liver here in some areas. So, but it's all good information because really the liver cells perform several important roles concerning fat. Okay, so this is one thing you really want to know. It breaks down fatty acids and generates ATP. Now that's the stuff, it's for contraction or relaxation of our muscles. Also, it moves the fatty acids and cholesterol and triglycerides to and from cells and stores certain triglycerides and synthesizes cholesterol. God, there's a lot of S's in there. Sorry about that. So yeah, it does a lot with processing fat. Now, high protein, high fat diets cause the liver to become compromised. So just know that if you're eating the good fats like nuts or avocados, coconut oil, olives, that kind of stuff, that is the preferred mode for the liver because it can produce good bile and processes your meal on its own unrushed timing. But if you're not, if you're saturated fats, if the meal is fried foods, saturated fats, bacon, an all-out effort is being made to produce a lot of bile to keep your body safe so the blood doesn't get too thick. And keto, high fat diets, they say high protein, but really that means high fat, fall into this category. They actually starve your body of glucose by using mostly fats as the calorie source. So the liver is working overtime to keep fats from getting to the heart and the pancreas to prevent heart attacks and diabetes. And your bile reserves get scarce, and over time you lose your calcium reserves along with other minerals. So really, do some research before changing up your diet to all fat or all proteins. This is not a healthy thing for the body. And then the bile, there's liver cells that secrete bile. That's that yellow-green, alkaline, it's a liquid actually, and then bile salts are produced by the liver. And so this is all out bile production can cause weight gain. It has to go through all this fat processing and other health complications over time. So healthy fats are one thing, and much better, it really doesn't matter to the liver because it has to process it either way. But the more times it processes fats, the more bile is produced, and it just becomes overburdened. So this keeps the liver from doing other things that it should be doing, like letting your immune system fight stuff, right? Pathogens and chemicals and all that. And it keeps it constantly in cleanup mode for you. So the liver does all of this to save your life. So with so much fat in the modern diet, the liver can't process it all effectively, and some seeps into the lymph system. This is when the immune system weakens, and the white killer cells just can't battle viruses, infections, bacteria as they are needed inside the lymph system. So the liver will monitor your oxygen level in your bloodstream. Okay, so the reason that it produces all that bile for you is to break down those fats and thin the blood, because high fats mean less oxygen, which feeds your brain and heart. So without oxygen, these organs will work harder. And the major reason that your liver does all this overtime is to protect your pancreas so it can produce insulin to regulate your blood sugar. And so the more fat hanging out in the bloodstream, organs, and digestive tract, and the lymph fluid, the more insulin is required to pump this sugar through and around the fat saturation so it can enter cells so the body can function. And when enough fat is in the bloodstream, then the nervous system starves since it runs on sugar, and this glucose can't find its way past the fat and get to the nerves. So the same goes for the muscles and the organs, and that's what's called insulin resistance then starts happening. So even if you cut carbs, if there's fat in the bloodstream, the same amount of insulin will be produced. So it's not really the carbs at fault, even though you may think so because you get a carb craving, but that's just our indication of high fat in our blood. So if you lowered your fat intake and ate like sweet potatoes, squash, pumpkins, berries, and other fruits, then insulin resistance would reduce and blood sugar would be more balanced, and the pancreas would be in better shape without pumping out all that extra insulin. And so it's not the carbs, it's the fats. All right. So when your liver doesn't have to spend so much time protecting the pancreas from too much fat, then it can free up vitality. And it can be off to do all the other functions responsible for looking out for you, which is number one. So give your liver what it wants, less fat, and it will make sure that you look better and feel better and keeps its reserves for when you really need it. And we will probably really need it at some point. Now, glucose storage, that's what it does. It stores sugar to keep you alive. When you're running around and you haven't eaten for a while, a healthy liver will take up the slack and surge its store of glucose to save you from a pancreas and adrenal crash. So when the brain or thyroid tells it they need something, then bang, it's released and on its way through the blood vessels close to the surface to zip over the precious materials. Now, we require glucose to function. And if you have that lightheadedness, that jittery, irritable feel we get when it dips, it's impossible to concentrate at that point and get things done. And these drops would happen all the time if not for your liver. If they're not in top shape, then the adrenals pump out adrenaline and cortisol to imposter for the glucose that's not there in the liver. So these glands, the adrenal glands, are overly compromised and stressed to the limit by midlife in these days, and those hormones cause more stress and inflammation and illness. So most people that I check, their adrenal glands are if I would say 30%, in the 30% range is like average, what I'm finding now for people. So by midlife anyways, I'm talking 35, 40 on, right? So, but even people who are teenagers, I'm finding real compromised adrenal glands. And that's because of this, all the alerts that are on our games and phones and all this stuff, right? Keeping people on a high alert status, right? The alerts on your thing is keeping you on high alert, right? So it's compromising the adrenals. So we want to go for natural sugars, okay? From fruit, coconut water, sweet potatoes, and that sort of thing. So also it stores vitamins and minerals. Now, if you don't, if you get a blood test and say that you're low on certain vitamins and minerals, that's really a report card on how well your liver's doing, right? Now, of course, might not be eating the right things either, but it's the reserves. The liver keeps a reserve on all of these things. So it stored them, nutrients that the stomach and intestines have converted during digestion into usable forms. So this transformation takes place that encapsulates the nutrients in a special bubble, and it protects them from toxins on their journey. So it's really an amazing process. But when the gut itself is in distress, then the nutrients that keep you alive, that they provide to the liver, aren't properly altered and delivered. So when this happens, the liver is used to convert these nutrients instead, which overuses this method, which is the methylation. There's a B vitamin, methylfolate, or it's folate something, but it's -5 or something, methylation. It's good for us. So the liver takes over the job the intestine can't fulfill anymore to try and keep you feeling vital and healthy. So you won't even know for quite a while when you experience bloating, yeast, IBS gas, that it's only when it's become sluggish and weakened that the digestive problems show themselves. So with too many toxins stored deep within the liver, and they start being leaked into the body, weakening the digestive tract, which increases its need to be the backup, but it goes in a bad cycle, right? So activation of vitamin D is another job that the body does together with the skin and the kidneys to form the active form of vitamin D. And of course, that's absorbed, the minerals, absorption for calcium, phosphorus, and cell permeability. So a compromised liver undermines the gut and vice versa. So storage capacity for vitamins and minerals decrease as the stores of toxins that it's taken on to save you increase. So your vitamin deficiencies begin, all right? So it's the toxins. A lot of the toxins, they come from, well, the environment, right? What are we breathing, first of all? And that's one thing that we don't have a whole lot of control over, is what we're breathing, I guess. Depending on where we're living, I suppose we could move, but there's always some stuff up there for pollution. Getting yourself your air purifier for the home, which I did, really helped out. I gotta tell you, I did put that one on my website. It's on the resources tab. Go look that one up. It's makes the air in here just feel incredible. So it's the pollutions, yes, it is, and chemicals that we take on, and it could be, the fertilizers, the things that, are on our grass. What are we using to spray for weeds, and why do we have to use things that are poison and have glyphosate in them, right? People are getting cancer and tumors and just horrible illnesses around things that are being put onto our environment and in our food. Right. So if we're not eating 100% organic, then we are probably getting, from fertilizers, right, in our food, GMOs and so forth. So if that's in the liver, because it is, that's the liver does, it takes it all in so that it doesn't harm you. But if that's all in there, then what is it not able to do now, right? So it can't store your vitamins and minerals. So you might be popping vitamins and minerals like crazy and thinking, well, they don't work, maybe another brand or maybe this or that, right? So, minerals or vitamins that you're low in, chemicals include like vitamin deficiencies and deficiencies, around the fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and the liver being the location of the body's main storage of these. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, so at least take them every day for sure. Take supplements. B12. Yeah, I've got a B12 right here. I dropped my water on it. It started dissolving. Let's see. And minerals. Yeah, iron, copper. So harmful substances If you eat anything wrapped in plastic and put it in a microwave, or who knows what, from fast food joints, GMOs, heavy metals from farm raised or certain shellfish, or you get x-rays or radiation. And if you do go to a dentist and they give the x-rays, you want to make sure that that thing is just right up to your chin, because you don't want that radiation getting anywhere near your thyroid. Make sure you tell them. You have an obligation. They have an obligation to not damage your thyroid. So x-rays, radiation. If you eat meat from hormones or antibiotic-ridden livestock, yes, they're shot up with so many different things. Oh, that's why I don't eat meat. I haven't for years. That's what I personally recommend, and that's what your liver is personally recommending to you as well. Now, there are things that are wild, organic, like venison, wild deer and so forth like that. Things that you catch fish and yourself, not the farm raised, wild caught, those kind of things. A little bit different, right? It's still the ethical thing. And so that's got to be your own decision on that. But, but any kind of heavy metals, molds, pathogens, pesticides, anything that has a ionic charge that is destructive to our cells and makes them sticky. Because then when they're in our bloodstream, they just wreak havoc by damaging the blood cells, sucking out oxygen, and ruining our immune system. So when these toxins get near your liver, it can discharge that charge and neutralizes them in their path, ending their destruction. So a compound is also released by the liver into the bloodstream itself to disarm that charge, so that the body's own electricity won't ignite them. But this is only in a healthy liver, right? So only small amounts ever get released out into the bloodstream to zap these horrible destroyers if it's not healthy. So it takes all this stuff in deep inside the liver, and then you can actually find stuff in there like petroleum, DDT that's been banned for years, decades, right? Viruses, household cleaners, pharmaceuticals, aspartame, any of that fake sugar stuff. Do not use it. That's my recommendation. And heavy metals. The liver takes it all in, takes on all that damage. Right? Even if your parents worked around chemicals, or if DDT was sprayed in your neighborhood or your parents' neighborhood for mosquitoes or whatever, then their children come into the world with compromised livers. Yep, we already came in that way, right? So protection of the body. The liver protects the body, especially by helping to remove the harmful substances that will not serve a useful purpose. And then another protective process is the filtration of blood. So it removes toxins and microorganisms from the blood before it enters or re-enters the circulation. So screening and cleaning your blood, your liver does that. Separates out all the good guys from the bad and all that's whatever's swimming around there. The white blood cells, the immune system of the liver reacts at the drop of a hat and stands guard at the main entrance for bacteria and viruses. And then they sort out anything usable from toxins or anything else that may have slipped in there. So, and then after the blood leaves the liver, it goes to the heart, right? So the liver is going to try and get all the toxins out of your body first, before stowing them away deep inside itself. So then it will send them to the colon for the solids, and then through the kidneys through the urine, right? So that's why we've included these two organs in with this live stream today too. And then some maybe let loose in the bloodstream when there wasn't another choice, or when the liver was already compromised, or the bladder is compromised, right? So then they can become free radicals and they can wreak havoc there. Some go to the heart then and cycle through the circulatory system and ending back in the liver. I do recommend, and I take a C60. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little, it's called C, like the letter C, Charlie, 60. Perfectly wonderful antioxidant for these free radicals. I've got my web guide putting that up on my resource page too. So I've had people asking me about where you get that. And you want to get the clean stuff too, and the highest percentage there too. So it does make a difference where you get it. But yeah, absolutely wonderful. So, and then you can just eat things like blueberries. Fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices. They're actually wonderful antioxidants as well. So they can help new cells while they're growing, what we're doing today. So processes drugs, livers, removes drugs, hormones, toxins from the blood. Maybe it puts it into the bile, chemically alters them into less harmful substances. Or if the liver is already overwhelmed, it sends the material to be stored in your fat. Ew, drugs in your fat cells. Also processes hormones. The liver chemically changes or processes hormones, and then it acts as your personal immune system. Yeah, viruses take up their home in a compromised liver. Yes, they do, such as multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, lupus, shingles, Lyme, Hashimoto's, Epstein-Barr. The liver stashes these away deep inside itself and assigns killer cells there to keep them at bay. Meanwhile, it's also fighting off new toxins from coming in the first place. So it's doing all that plus anything new that may be coming through, right? White blood cells monitor what's going on, watching the blood that enters the liver unfiltered from the digestive tract. And then the next line of defense are the white blood cells. They look for Epstein-Barr virus. They look for the creator of the hepatitis A, B, C, D, and E, and autoimmune conditions of the liver, which are really just the liver really fighting pathogens, right? Because autoimmune is not your body attacking itself. It's your body attacking this stuff, right? That's what it is. It's doing exactly what it needs to do. We've compromised it in certain ways, what we were just talking about. So that's what is causing inflammation. And autoimmune type symptoms, not saying that there aren't autoimmune symptoms. Yes, arthritis and so forth, RA. Yeah, absolutely, it's real. Yeah, it's just all this fighting going on here, right? That's what's causing that inflammation. So we can shift this course. We can heal and avoid disease. We can protect our liver's precious reserves and our immune system. We can change the direction from being sick to recovering, and we can make new choices that weren't available to us by way of available information. Still clearing here. I'm getting things up to where we want them. So while we're going here, that's what we're still doing. If you can still see your liver releasing all these things, that would be great in the same time that we're doing the clearings. Just letting all that stuff go. We can still send this down through the grounding rod. We're still connected, by the way, so we can just let anything go that doesn't belong. We're sending it on its way. So a sluggish liver, you can think of it like a reeking, stagnant lake, right? Unlike a river that has, carries itself continually on with the current, a lake that's just sitting there with buzzing, pests. And yeah. So, yeah. Ooh. So thinking about, the things that can be caused by a compromised liver, there's the eczema and psoriasis. That's an overloaded liver. High blood pressure or heart palpitations, type 2 diabetes, seasonal affective disorder, dark eye, under eye circles, dehydration, varicose veins on our legs, weight gain, chemical sensitivities, bloating, constipation. They all originate in the liver. So to bust loose this energy, the liver can send an alert, a twitch or a spasm, a warmth, a heat or a bloating, a stitch in the side or something like that to get some control back, right? So if you feel those things, it's your overloaded liver trying to get control back, okay? So you can see, just start seeing all this dark stuff just coming out of the liver, out of the liver, out of the liver, letting go, all compromise. Just sending it on its way down to the center of the earth. Blessing Mother Earth for allowing this to take all this on. Very nice. Many symptoms for midlife can be misunderstood as menopause, like hot flashes, brain fog, poor sleep, weight gain, right? That's actually messages from your liver requesting help. Yeah. Instead, you go to the doctor and they'll say, how old are you? Oh, well, here, take these. Take these artificial chemical hormone replacements. That'll do the job. Well, actually, it will go and get stored there, right? And if there's already too much stuff being stored there, where's it going to store it? Where we just read in our fat cells. That's where the stuff winds up, right? So, yeah. All right, so yeah, there's a huge opportunity medical industry saw there. They already had some stuff laying around that wasn't working for whatever other reason. They're like, well, here, hormone replacement, and boom, money-making industry. So congratulations for paying attention to your liver and the messages being here now. Absolutely, congratulate yourself. Okay, so what are the early symptoms of liver problems? Well, fatigue, energy loss, small, red spider-like blood vessels on the skin, belly pain, nausea, poor appetite, weight loss, health complaints, digestive issues, emotional struggles, weight gain, high blood pressure, heart problems, brain fog, skin conditions, autoimmune type symptoms, and other chronic illnesses are the ones that we talked about. And elevated liver enzymes balances the enzymes for you. The liver does. And chronic dehydration can be life-threatening. You can get that dirty blood syndrome, right? So it is so important. Matter of fact, let's all take a drink of water again right now. Yeah, just see our blood now, just cleansed. This big, long drink you just took, just cleansing the blood, sending all the dark, gooey, dense, sticky stuff, just sending it out down at the center of the earth. Let's let that go. Just clean that blood now. When your energy starts sputtering, that's dirty blood pumping through your body. So it's harder for the heart to send blood through the body. It can leave you feeling drained and tired. Dark eye circles are, dehydrated liver creates toxic, dirty blood. So if you can just increase your water and then watch for these symptoms and see if they, how much they can actually improve by just drinking more water, I bet you'd be surprised. Other symptoms, gout, varicose veins, inflammation, insomnia, thyroid problems. That's the virus that causes thyroid problems. It lies in the liver and on its way to the thyroid. That's where it wants to make its way into the thyroid. There's adrenal problems, that level of excess adrenaline fired off that sets off a reaction that leads to weight gain. And the liver sponges up that adrenaline, and when the liver has too much to store, the result is usually weight gain. So in struggling with weight and not being able to get rid of it through, diet and exercise, this has been coming on for a long time. It's not the metabolism, it's excess fat cells. It's pathogen waste. It's excess adrenaline. And with this, the liver can't process fat as well, and the fat accumulates more rapidly in the intestinal tract too, and then eventually the heart and the arteries get saturated. Okay. So I think we've harped on that enough, right? So, one more. Prediabetes can be discovered, and weight around the waist begins to cling. And there's also fluid retention. So about a third of the excess weight can be fluids. And lymphedema is a disease type. Symptoms can occur when the lymph system has to do the macro job of the liver instead of the small micro job supposed to be doing. So the liver is the fountain of youth. It's a preserver of youth. It's the origin of longevity and age reversal. So, okay, I'm going for that. Brain fog is a viral loaded liver. Yep, and adrenaline can feed on it. Ugh. So they release waste matter. One's a neurotoxin. And so when it reaches capacity in the liver, they escape into the bloodstream. And because they can cross the blood-brain barrier, they can short-circuit neurotransmitters in the brain. And neurotoxins in the blood and cerebrospinal fluid are a big, cause in this brain fog. So what are worse liver symptoms? How can they get any worse? Well, fluid buildup in the legs. That's the edema, and in the abdomen, confusion or problems thinking properly, easily bruising, unusual bleeding, redness on the palm of the hands, yellow in the skin, mucous membranes or eyes, that's jaundice. In men, it could be impotence, it could be breast swelling, shrinking of the testicles, and there could be pale or clay-colored stools. So those are all symptoms of your liver compromise. Epstein-Barr is behind hepatitis. A lot of research has been done on that, not mainstream mostly, but people are finding this to be a big cause here that they're finding now. And it's the same one that causes mononucleosis. Yep. So a viral liver is behind every autoimmune type condition. Cirrhosis is long-term medications or alcohol abuse, maybe an overload of toxins. It could be a low-grade viral infection over time, right? And that can just be the trip, enough to trip the trigger of the balance, right? And mutated virus strain in the liver then continues to mutate if it has the right toxins to feed on, and there's an even more toxic byproduct that they excrete into your body. So heavy drinking in the liver, well, liver disease affects the lives of so many people who drink heavily over the years. So scarring and cirrhosis can start to develop. And the chances of getting liver disease skyrocket the longer you drink alcohol. And the scary thing is you don't even have to binge drink for this type of disease to occur. And eating liver, no, it's not so good for you. It's really rare to find a clean piece of liver. Okay, liver flushes, it's not your liver's idea to do a flush. You are not smarter than your liver ever. It knows what it's doing. Okay, feed it right. Stop the bad fats. And as much as the pollutions as possible, whatever you put in your body, you do have, control over that. Now, gallstones. All right, let's start dissolving gallstones. Let's see. Okay, we are back. If you are those that are on the audio, if you want to try that link again and see if it helps to get back in the room, it may. I just did a refresh by accident. So I hit some button anyway and it refreshed everything. So maybe it's possible that you can get back in the room if you want to try the link again. It's up to you. You don't have to. Okay, so we're working on gallstones and checking to see how many people have gallstones. And I'm getting that there's one. So let's see if we can dissolve them. Okay, so we'll add that to the list here of things to work on. And okay, apple cider vinegar. No, the liver doesn't want any. It comes in acidic, and the liver has to work and try to alkaline, turns it to neutralize it. Coffee enemas, they're very harsh. They're strong, acidic, dehydrating, astringent, and they're a drug. So they trigger the adrenals to release adrenaline as a defense mechanism to warn the heart of trouble. So they're not such a good thing. I tried them once. I had the jitters for, I don't know, I seemed like days. Alkaline and high pH. The liver has to immediately scramble to bring the water down to the right pH before you can even use it. So don't spend the money on high alkaline, high pH water. So let's get into and see if the liver now is ready and to move on to the next step, which is regeneration. So this is one of the most important healing concepts right now for restoring health and reversing aging. So let's check here. And I'm getting yes. Okay, great. So we are connected. We are grounded, protected. Very nice. We are connected now to the master cell of the liver. And we are bringing in the beauty, love, and perfection of your own divine master template of your liver. The perfect version. And from the highest and best from God's source to you. Right now, we are bringing this beautiful healing energy now into the liver. Very nice, very nice. Ooh, very good. Very good. Oh, it likes this energy. Bringing in this beauty, love, and perfection now into this master cell, into the membrane which surrounds the cell, into the nucleus, center of the cell, into all of the organelles, all the mitochondria, those little caterpillar looking like orange things in the screen here. Those are the mitochondria. Those are the energy centers of your cell. And they do create that ATP, that energy, to fire up the cells. Provides energy to you as well. So all this beautiful healing energy now going there, going into all the spaces and places of your master cell of your liver, going there now. Very nice. Beautiful. Okay, yes, that's so much nicer. So much nicer. Okay, let's go now to the DNA strand and check for programs here. And is there anything broken? Good, all right. All right, I've got some programs here, so we're going to be clearing out for everybody any program that's going to compromise the liver. Let's let that go. Let's just send all those nasty programs that would compromise our liver. Let's just let those go, send them down now to the center of the earth. That energy can be transmuted and transformed. Transformed and transmuted. Okay. All right, so we are at, good. Let's send some beautiful gold God healing energy down now through that DNA strand, healing it and now sealing it. Very good. All right, so let's go now back into the cell. We're going to check to see if all areas now of this master cell are up to its optimal perfected version. And yes, it is. All right, let's bring some beautiful healing light into that cell. Nice, nice, nice. And now we're going to match all that beauty, love, and perfection to all the cells now of your liver, taking on this upgrade from the master cell. Beautiful. Sending this beautiful gold God healing energy now to all cells of your liver, taking on the perfected version of the master cell, matching your own master template, and receiving the highest and best from God, source, to you right now. Very good. Okay, nice. Let's check now to see okay. I am getting that it will be approximately 45 days for the liver to be in this upgrade process. So I've made a note of that. Now, improvements that you may notice from an optimally functioning liver will include more energy. Yeah, we just brought some more energy back into the liver, that in the mitochondria, right? So more energy, healthier hair and skin, better digestion, reduced bloating and weight, clear-headed and adaptable, peaceful, happier, balanced blood sugar, sleeping better, less stress, lower blood pressure, looking and feeling younger, and anti-aging. So wonderful. Yes. Okay, let's get some water before we go into the next area. Nice. All right. Colon upgrade. Colon questions. So what will it take to convince me I can handle my personal issues? What distortions in my thinking are ready to be purged or realigned to create a healthier body? What needs to be removed in my psyche so I can effectively channel my energies, resources, and intentions? What will it take to cease communication with myself with degrading and abusive language? What injustices and abuses of the past am I refusing to let go of? What will it take to finally be free of them? What will it take for me to believe in myself? What will it take to effectively process my deeper toxic emotions so my body can heal? What unexpressed suppressed grief is still haunting me from the past? And what will it take for me to feel accepted by God or Source so I can accept myself? Now, the affirmation we can all say out loud is, I am a child of Source or God who sees my weaknesses and embraces each fault with loving kindness and acceptance. I choose to align my life with my true purpose. Thank you again, Mindy. So you can take those questions with you at a later time and get some answers to those and see what you come up with. Now, the large intestine here, the colon we're working in, is it doesn't do much digesting, but it's where a lot of the liquid is absorbed from the waste material. So undigested materials are moved through and then into the large part of the colon, the rectum. Right? So this is not the part that's going into the liver with, for the nutrition. That's the small intestine, right? That's kind of stuff. But once it gets here to the large intestine, the colon, we are making it, it's making its way out of the body, right? The elimination organs. So I am working in the colon right now while we go through some of these slides, getting it up to ready for regeneration. So the gastrointestinal tract, the GI tract, is continuous with the external world. Starts at the lips and ends at the anus. Every day, substances, I laugh at that all the time. Everyday substances move through the tract representing or presenting real or perceived immunological threats. So this tract has more immunological assaults than anywhere else in the human body. It actually produces 7 to 85% of immune cells. And its mucus lining plays an important protective role against gut infection, acting as a defense shield, stopping both pathogens and potentially irritating food molecules from contacting the cell lining, the intestines. So having a healthy mucus lining is important to decrease gut inflammation. And this mucous membrane lining, that's part of the immune system, which we do, or you probably just already did that if you were already in that immune system program that we did, or the live stream on that. So the colon is the body's waste disposal system. It's a debate whether regular, being regular, what that means. Some people, think it's once a day, some are 3 times a day. But some doctors say that it should occur every time we eat. And if we don't, then some auto-intoxication can occur, right? So, detoxifying you with, toxifying you with whatever toxins were in that food or whatever, right? So an acidic colon is a healthy colon. So that's why you don't want that alkaline water, right? Vegetables help keep the colon acidic, balanced, and it will assist with the, detoxification of the gut. So a high, you want a lot of vegetables, right? Keeping an alkaline, high protein actually will cause a high alkaline GI tract, right? But you want acidic. So eating less protein or, animal meat or, animal protein, and choosing plant proteins. They have a lot of protein in, like broccoli and lentils, all kinds of good vegetables really have a lot of good protein, right? So getting your vegetable fiber, protein from vegetables will really cut down that negative effect. Now, the importance of a well-working, I'm just checking a couple of things here. I know I'm talking a little bit slowly in a couple areas, but I'm checking on your colon as we go here. So the importance of a well-working digestive system can't be overstated or underappreciated. Yep. So keeping this vital system working well is a huge, critical importance. So too often we think of our bodies as disconnected, when in reality we are, a synergistic machine of connected parts, all relying on each other to work efficiently. So really, what could go wrong? Well, constipation is actually 3 or fewer bowel movements per week. Ooh, that's not very many, right? So the generally hard, dry, small, hard to pass. And you could try upping your water, right? Hydration. Exercise also will help move, the muscles and push the material through, too. So if you have a compromised colon, if you have hard stools that sink to the bottom, or chronic diarrhea, bloating, cramping, that kind of thing, yellow stools, maybe gallbladder, black or red, usually means that there's bleeding somewhere in the tract. Chronic stress plays a large role in normal digestion. So you can actually keep a food journal. It tells you here how to do that. That might be a good thing to keep an eye on, right? So the nervous system it processes food also, right? The nervous system, right? So the extrinsic and the intrinsic nerves control the digestive system. You have extrinsic nerves connect to the central nervous system, which is the brain and the spinal cord. And these nerves release chemicals that send messages to muscles in the digestive system to either contract or relax, depending on whether there's food to be digested. So the intrinsic nerves, they're inside the digestive tract, and they release substances that control the movement of food through the tract and the production of digestive juices. So you've got your nervous system involved here. Well, what's have the nerves then have to do with your stomach, right? So if you're feeling nervous, because some people get, queasy, or, right? Or they can go to the bathroom, right? That's why it's connected. So now you can journal how you felt and what you were doing, when you're eating and so forth. You can say, hey, was I eating in the kitchen? Was I eating in front of the TV, right? So here's some more notes, and maybe these 2 slides should have been flopped here, but yeah, these are more things to journal on. So make any notes of symptoms you experience and their severity, maybe a scale of 1 to 4, 4 being the most severe. And remember though that food can take 40 to 50 hours to pass through the whole system. So write down anything that you eat at any time, right? So, and then balancing the bacteria in the gut. There's 100 trillion bacteria that live there. And these make up 75% of your immune system. You got the good bugs, you want these, the bifidobacterium, and these are in the large intestine. They produce the acetic acid that fight off an overgrowth of bad bacteria like E. coli and yeast like Candida, and produces energy, right? So, and it also breaks down proteins that enter the colon without being fully digested in the stomach and small intestine, so they do not rot in the large intestine. And then you have the lactobacillus. That's the most well-known. It's the good, has 25 different species of good bacteria, produces lactic acid, helps maintain the intestinal barrier, providing protection from infection, and acts as an anti-inflammatory agent. It promotes mucus production in the small intestine for that immune response, and keeps everything moving smoothly. Very nice. Okay, so there's also the bad bugs, right? So when good bacteria are not in balance, or get so large in proportion that the good bacteria, bad bugs can, overrun the good bacteria. Salmonella flares up more when you have an inflamed gut, which makes it easier for it to invade the intestinal lining and live there. You have Clostridium that produces toxins, attacks your intestinal wall, causes digestive problems or symptoms there. Small intestine generally has low numbers of bacteria, which are found in the colon, because that's where they complete digestion. So when they invade the upper area of the small intestine, you get some bacteria's up there, where a large part of the digestion does take place. Then they can produce toxins and gases like methane and carbon dioxide, and that interferes with normal digestion, damages the lining of that small intestine, and it can lead to actually fibromyalgia, diverticulosis, IBS, celiac, Crohn's, and other autoimmune type diseases. So gut microbiome or flora for nutrient absorption and for providing the bacterial environment. It helps insulin to work effectively and offers protection for diabetes. Now, bacteria have DNA patterns that affect different digestive functions. Some digest proteins, some digest sugars. If they're not able to digest nutrients properly, it can lead to anemia, fatigue, and low energy. So many good bacteria break down carbs that provide needed energy, and this also helps repair intestinal cells and the regrowth of new ones. So without these good bacteria, undigested food can stagnate and go rancid, producing gas, bloating, belching, abdominal pain, right? Some bacteria produce vitamin K, B12, folate, biotin, and others improve the absorption of minerals like copper, iron, and magnesium. So some good bacteria actually produce those, right? So taking a good probiotic is absolutely, it's critical nowadays, especially, right? With the foods we eat and even the wonderful organic fruits and vegetables. I mean, it just depends on the soil that it's grown in nowadays, right? It's become depleted of nutrition. So the immune function, of course, there's the connection here. The good bugs in the digestive tract have communication with the immune system, telling it to invade or attack these pathogens. And stress, well, an overgrowth of certain bacteria can trigger a stress response and keep it automatically turned on to a fight or flight mode. So a higher heart rate, blood pressure, and glucose, difficulty focusing, slow digestion, and stays there long term. That's the start of inflammation and chronic illnesses. So, but when you have the right balance of bifidobacterium and lactobacillus, then they turn off the hormonal signals that cause that chronic stress response. So let's see right now if we can turn these up, or instead of up, let's just say optimal, right balance. Let's see if we can get these in the right balance. That's what we're going for right here. Getting these good bugs and in the right balance. Okay, so we'll continue on that a bit here. The good bacteria are more susceptible to antibiotic use that disrupts the entire balance of the bioflora. So if you use these, you're going to want to repopulate the good bacteria after a dosage, for sure. So probiotics repopulate the gut with good bacteria to restore balance. Fermented foods is one way you can do that. The kimchi, yogurt, sauerkraut, kombucha. I love kombucha for some reason. I didn't know I was going to. In a probiotic capsule, you want to get like a 50 billion plus bacteria in there to avoid like a severe die-off reaction, right? So, yeah, because these bad bugs, they give off toxins as they die. They can cause kind of headaches, brain fog, maybe digestive, area issues, muscle aches, fevers, chills, rash, maybe increased mucus. Lasts maybe less than a week, but cut back on the probiotics until they level out if you have to, right? So that's just kind of one way to figure out the correct level here, getting the correct balance. The willingness to stick to your lifestyle that allows good bacteria to thrive is the most important part of that. Elimination diet, yeah, you're going to want to identify foods that may be damaging the gut and trying to remove all of these for 30 days on the screen, and you'll see what we're talking about. But gluten, grain, soy, dairy, refined sugars, nuts, citrus fruit, beans and legumes, alcohol, and caffeine. Then journal how you feel, and actually then you can reintroduce them one by one after 30 days and making notes and so forth. So the slides tell you how to do that. So 7 signs of an unhealthy gut. So yeah, a lot of things can cause, our lifestyle, high stress levels, too much, eating processed and sugary foods and so forth. So upset stomach is a sign, right? Gas, bloating, constipation, all signs of an unhealthy gut. A balanced gut will have less difficulty processing food and eliminating waste. Second reason is a high sugar diet. That's obvious. it can decrease the amount of good bacteria in the gut. Weight changes, gaining or losing without making many changes to your diet or exercise, can be a sign of an unhealthy gut. An imbalanced gut can impair your body's ability to absorb nutrients, regulate blood sugar, and store fat. So weight loss can be caused by small intestinal bacterial overgrowth or SIBO, while weight gain may be caused by insulin resistance or the urge to overeat due to decreased nutrient absorption. Then there's the sleep disturbances and fatigue. They can all go hand in hand with a healthy gut. Skin irritations, oh yeah, like eczema can be related to a damaged gut. Inflammation is the gut. In the gut caused by a poor diet or food allergies may cause increased leaking of certain proteins out of the body, which can cause the eczema. Then there's autoimmune type conditions are a symptom there, and food intolerances. You'll know that there's the gut's having a difficulty digesting certain foods if there's intolerances or allergies around that. And that's all. Food allergies are also related to gut health. So how you can improve your digestive health now? Well, you're going to want to do several things. You could add fermented foods or a probiotic supplement to your diet every day, increasing fiber. Oh, that would be beautiful. But now some people with constipation, however, can't take that much fiber, or the psyllium husk, that stuff that you put in as a supplement, that can just stop you right up real quick, right? So that could be good for people with diarrhea, however, but you do want to get them through beans and, vegetables, fiber, and then go plant-based. Yay! Doesn't mean you have to become vegan or vegetarian. It simply means that you want to have the majority of your diet be these vegetables, right? And fruits. And avoiding animal products as much as possible, and your liver will definitely be thanking you on that one. So leafy greens, beautiful stuff. Stay hydrated. Again, let's get some more water. More water. And splash yourself while doing so. Aim for half your body weight in ounces of water daily is what it says, or making sure you get as much water as what we're doing right now, right? You're taking a drink at least every half an hour, right? Maybe a third of your glass full, okay? Just continually throughout the day, and by the end of the day, you'll be going through a lot of water. So water transports the waste products and toxins from the body. The enzymes in your saliva must dissolve in the water to start the breakdown of starches in your mouth, and then to digest the soluble fiber, so you can become constipated, right? Or that's what would happen if you don't have enough water to do that. And then your saliva is not going to start the process. There's not enough going around there, right? So, and also warm water with lemon is a soothing digestive tonic that can help to keep you regular, and is wonderful for the liver if you drink a glass of lemon water right away in the morning, first thing, a full glass. So just a mild dehydration can include being thirsty, headaches, lightheadedness, dizziness when standing up, weakness, flushed face, dry, warm skin, cramping in the arms and legs, lack of energy, dry mouth and tongue. So, and you don't want to be drinking while you're eating a meal. Right, so cold water takes energy to get it to body temperature, hindering digestion. So you want to drink water 30 minutes prior or 30 to 60 minutes after meals, and skipping the ice. Tap water is likely to be contaminated with heavy toxic metals like lead, and of course, all those prescription medications that were flushed into the water, right? So tap water contains chlorine, fluoride, that kills off friendly bacteria. Volatile chemicals, when combined with chemicals like chlorine, form ones that are even more toxic. So don't drink tap water. Nowadays, we just can't. Well water can have pollutants running into the groundwater, so have your well tested regularly if this is you. Bottled water, dealers are only required to provide water of the same quality as tap water. So it can contain 24,000 chemicals that can mimic effects of pharmaceutical drugs and endocrine disruptors linked to breast cancer. The plastic bottle contains BPA. Low doses are linked to cancer, diabetes, and behavioral issues with kids. That's what they send here. They send kids off with bottles of water. Issues with human fertility. The bottles, oh my gosh, when they're hot, when they're in the warehouses before they get to their store, right? They leach chemicals from the bottle into the water. So keep them out of hot cars. Yeah, and then filter water, activated carbon filters, water, filter the water there at your sink or in a pitcher, or a better idea is the under the sink filter or the whole house system. There's some really good ones out there. Also make sure you put one in your shower, because 2/3 of the chlorine exposure comes from absorbing water in the shower and inhaling the steam. It's the same as drinking 6 to 8 glasses of contaminated water. So drinking energy drinks and soda, they rob your body of nutrients, they leach the calcium from your bones, and damage the enamel on your teeth. The acid in soda leads to bloating, acid reflux, and heartburn. Sodas, the sugar, feed the bad bacteria and the yeast in your gut. So alcohol damages gut health, and the sugar in it adds to the overgrowth of yeast and bacterial imbalance, while exercise supports the balance of microorganisms in your gut and keeps it, this whole system moving. And obviously there's a lot of benefits to exercise too. And then yoga, yogis knew it's beneficial for digestive health, reduces stress and the emotions that show up in the gut, like diarrhea, constipation, ulcers, celiacs, nausea, IBS, indigestion. Chronic stress can negatively affect all areas of digestion. So try yoga poses like the cat stretch, child pose, downward facing dog. The stretching and bending is like a massage on the tissues. So identifying the imbalances of overgrowth of bacteria, you can do a stool analysis at your naturopath if you'd like to just get a test to see. Saliva analysis, they do those at compounding pharmacies. You can get a saliva test. It can also measure hormones like cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA from the pituitary. Hair mineral analysis, you can check for 20 different minerals and toxic metal activity in the hair from 3 to 4 months back. It's easier to find toxic metals there. Otherwise, we test them. We can clear them here too. We do a program on that one as well. Neurotransmitter profile, 6 main ones are the dopamine, serotonin, GABA, GABA, glutamate, adrenaline, and noradrenaline. So serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitter, is produced in the gut. So let's do an activation for these. These are the neurotransmitters. They are produced by the nervous system. So let's bump up your neurotransmitters now. Okay, so we're going to work on that. And your gut health is influencing your mood and vice versa. And your sleep and appetite and hormones and mental activity and so forth. So essential nutrients your body requires but cannot or does not make in proper amounts for the health. You got to get them in your diet. So let's do an activation for the one that you can. It is produced in the body. Your body makes it. It's glutathione. Let's do a activation there for glutathione. Keep that going here, and let's check now to see if we're ready to move on to the next step, which is the regeneration of the elimination organs, the colon. So, yes. All right, great. Let's do, right now we are connecting the colon, grounded, protected, very nice, and sending in this beautiful healing energy now to the master cell of the colon. Matching the beauty, love, and perfection of your own master template and the highest and best from God, source, to you right now. Beautiful healing energy. All these areas. Beautiful, nice. Nice energy going through here. All right, let's send this beautiful healing energy now into the membrane surrounding the cell, into the nucleus, the center, to all the organelles, to the mitochondria, its energy centers, All the spaces and places now of the master cell receiving this beautiful healing energy, taking on the upgrade from your own master template. Very nice. Let's check the DNA strand now for any programs that would compromise the colon. All right, we are letting those programs go now from the DNA. Sending this beautiful gold God healing energy down the DNA strand. Letting all the darkness. Let's just send that down now through the center of the earth. Very good. Very nice. Okay, good. Complete healing and sealing now of the DNA strand. Very good. Let's check the master cell of the colon now. And are we ready? Yes, we are. Okay, sending this beautiful healing light now, and we are now matching this perfected master cell to all cells of your colon, taking on the beauty, love, and perfection of this perfected master cell. Taking the upgrade right now. Very good. Okay. Okay, beautiful. Now let's check for the progress of this upgrade. Very good. All right, so I'm getting that we're at about 37 days that the colon will be in this regrowth process, and that may be a little bit more for you, or maybe a little bit less for you, but on average, we're looking at 37 days. All right, improvements with a fully functioning, optimally functioning colon would be healthy weight loss, enhanced elimination of toxins, heightened mental clarity, increased energy and stamina, relief from mood disorders, improved absorption of nutrients, increased immune system, and disease defenses, and regular bowel movements. Nice. All right, very good. Okay, so let's move into the third area here. This is the lungs, and we're going to check here. We're going to be moving out programs that have caused your lungs and respiration to function poorly. And looking at asthma, respiratory illnesses, allergies, dark energies, clearing the emotions for the right to be here, fully engaged in your body and your life, breathing into life. Very good. To exist, to take up space. Very good. Where are we here? Checking where we're at with the... Okay. Very good. Okay. Emotions that affect your lungs and your breath. Well, grief, sorrow, guilt, disappointed, blaming. All those can. So we're working there, and we're also looking at areas that dark energies, clearing all that out. Very good. In the physical, you could be looking at things in your brain, that where the brain connects with the spinal cord. There, yeah, brainstem. Yep, areas there regulate your respiratory function. So if you haven't already, you can contact me about a brain upgrade. Haven't offered it as a live stream as a group. It's available as a private session right now. There's a lot of areas that go into that and a lot of past life things and so forth too. So, but yeah, doing that will definitely improve a lot of areas, not just the lungs, and not just the brainstem, but the whole brain. So yeah, so that's one thing we do. So just checking here to see where we are. Sure, we're cleared. Yes, that's good. Okay. Respiratory system. Breathing is only one of the activities it does, right? So the body cells need a continuous supply of oxygen for the metabolic processes necessary for life. So the respiratory system works with the circulatory system to provide this oxygen and remove the waste products of metabolism. Also helps to regulate the pH of the blood. So, okay, so yeah, so the okay, good. Okay, good. Very good. All right, ready to go. So let's look at a sequence of events that results in the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the atmosphere and the body cells. So every 3 to 5 seconds, nerve impulses stimulate the breathing process or ventilation, and it moves air through a series of passages into and out of the lungs. And this is the exchange of gases between the lungs and the blood. So this is called external respiration. Right. So lungs problems, questions there that could be areas that you might want to ask yourself if you're having some breathing issues, or who isn't nowadays, right, with all the stuff in the air. All right. So questions are, what do I need to feel safe in the world? What will it take for me to breathe my life in fully? What will it take to know that I belong, that I am accepted, and that I have the right and ability to create joy? Or what will it take to feel loved? And what would it take for me to ask for what would help me feel loved and valued? And what will it take to feel like to know I am deeply loved and cherished? And what will it take for me to access the divine source that will validate that I am loved, lovable, and beloved? The affirmation would be, and we can say this out loud, I choose to accept the love of those around me, even those forces of love I cannot presently see. I am loved, loving, and loved. All right, so the inferior end of the trachea, the airway, splits into the left and right branches, known as the bronchi. We're not working in the bronchi, but that's where the lungs then are connected. So they're, a spongy pair of organs there. Near the diaphragm, just above the diaphragm. And you've got some membranes there. 2 lobes. The left side and the right side has 3. Okay, there's alveoli inside there. And then you've got, inside the lungs, oxygen is exchanged for carbon dioxide waste through the process called external respiration. Diseases of the respiratory system, they could be viruses, influenza, bacterial pneumonia. Then there could be chronic issues like asthma, COPD. And yeah, you don't want those. But asthma is a chronic inflammation of the lung airways that causes coughing, wheezing, chest tightness, or shortness of breath. And here's some questions that you might want to ask yourself around asthma. If you do have asthma, I'm not going to read them out loud to everybody, but you can come back and watch the replay yourself and get some answers. Also, menopause, hormones in the lungs. Well, respiration, your lungs are basically made up of mucous membranes, and the membranes in the body are membranes that are wet and produce mucus. And this also includes areas such as the vagina, the mouth, the nose, the ears, digestive tract. But during menopause, changes in estrogen or whatever can cause or affect mucus production in these areas and dry them out. I'm getting that there's DNA programs involved with that. They can blame it on you and your faulty hormones, or we could just, hey, and also too, we need to drink enough water, right? So definitely let's keep hydrated, right? And menopause side effects, shortness of breath. Well, they have to found that women have, decline lung function in menopausal aged women, I guess you could call. So forced vital capacity and forced expiratory volume in 1 second. They check it. And they say that the reductions in performance are beyond those that would be expected from aging. So they're blaming that on menopause. Okay. But it could just mean that we have a compromised system going on here, and we have some programs going on here too, right? So the breath is powerful. It can stimulate or relax us. So regular breathing is done without thought on our part. Controlled breathing can successfully treat many things, so such as depression, PTSD, pain, stress, and so forth. So you could do a simple breathing technique, breathing in for a count of 4, holding it for 7, and exhaling for 8. And then repeating that multiple times. And you breathe in through the nose, as in yoga. Salt pipe inhaler could be one of those really helpful things. I have one here. This is salt. You put in the bottom, they have the salts inside, and then you put some essential oils. You just drop a few drops of oils into the bottom here, and then you can go ahead and inhale through the top like that. So yeah, it's great. It really does open up the respiratory system. Allergies. Here's some questions you could ask yourself if you have allergies. Come back to the slides at this point and go through here and ask yourself these questions if that is an issue for you. So here's some natural ways to improve your respiratory health. Well, obvious is stop smoking, stay away from people who are smoking, avoid indoor and outdoor air pollution, avoid exposure to people who have flu or infections, exercise regularly, eat a healthy, balanced diet, and maintain a healthy weight. And of course, yoga is great for respiratory health. Absolutely wonderful. Moves the diaphragm and the muscles around there. Yeah, and the breath that comes in and out. Oh, yes. All right, so now are we ready for lung regeneration? And I am getting yes. Woohoo! All right. So we are connected, protected, and grounded. Yes. Very nice. Okay, so we are right now the master stem cell, and we are connected, and we are taking in the beauty of your own perfected master template right now. Bring that in. Very nice. And the highest and best from God's source. Bring that, all that energy in, whatever is the best for you right now. Very nice. Bringing this beautiful healing energy now into the membrane that surrounds the cell, into the nucleus, into all the organelles, all the mitochondria, little energy centers there in your cell. Beautiful, taking on this beautiful healing energy and the perfection of your own master template. And the highest and best from God's source to you right now. Whatever that happens to be for you. Bringing this beautiful healing energy now into the DNA strand. We're checking for programs here. Letting go of any programs for compromise with the lungs. Programs around grief and sorrow, distrust, not feeling as if you belong here, have the right to be here. Let's let all those go. Bringing this beautiful gold healing energy now through the DNA strand to heal it and seal it. Beautiful. Very good. Very nice. Okay. Let's go back to the master cell and check all spaces and places now of this master cell, taking on the beauty, love, and perfection of your own master template. Beautiful. Yep. And the highest and best from God's source to you right now. Very nice. Letting go of everything right now that does not belong. That last little bit of density and darkness. Let's let that go out of the lungs. Send that down into the center of the earth. Everything, anything that doesn't belong. Letting that go now. Very nice. Sending a beautiful burst of energy and golden light into this master cell, and now matching all cells of your lungs, now taking on the beauty, love, and perfection of this master cell right now. Upgrade, matching the perfection of this master cell. All happy. Yes, letting all the darkness go. Sending that down to the center of the earth. Beautiful healing energy now coming into this master cell and all cells now of the lungs. Taking on the upgrade. And I'm getting, it's going to be about 32 days. 32 days in regrowth for the lungs. So let's go now. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, wonderful. All right, so now we are connecting to the master cell. We're connecting. We are protected, grounded. Very good. Kidneys, bladder. We are letting go of all kinds of emotions here out of the kidneys and bladder. Ooh. Responsibility. Ooh, let's let that go. Shame, blaming, hatred, anger, frustration, unforgiveness. Let all this stuff go. Woo-wee. Very nice. Okay. All right, so we are sending this beautiful healing energy now to the kidneys. And let's just go through a few more slides here. We are almost done. These are not as long as the first three. We're doing these together, the kidneys and bladder. They are all the clearings I'm doing together. It's okay to do that together with these two, so that's why I am. And the kidneys filter extra water and toxins from the blood. About 120 to 150 quarts of blood to create 1 to 2 quarts of urine every day. So they aren't just one big filtering sponge, though. Each kidney is a system of millions of tiny filters called the nephrons. Yep. And here are some questions around kidneys and problems that we may face, so we can ask ourselves, so what will it take to finally stop hypervigilantly seeking for what is wrong in my life and focus on the beauty all around me and within me instead? And what will allow me to express my emotions in a productive, healthy way? And what will it take to cease the self-judgment and criticism of others? What will it take to see every setback as a stepping stone rather than a failure? What is required to be free of my strangling lack of abundance? What does it feel like to completely trust that I will be supported in my attempts to create meaningful experiences? And what will it take to completely accept myself on all levels, regardless of all of my weaknesses and imperfections? And what will it take to infuse my life with selfless service to self, okay, and to some others, and a compassionate attitude towards others? These are questions that you can take online at any time and get answers for, right? And the affirmation we can say out loud together is, I accept myself the way I am. I am learning to accept others the way they are. So poor kidney health, toxins, genetics, they can cause a wide range of health problems. So kidney failure is when the kidneys stop functioning. 1 in 3 American adults are at high risk for developing kidney disease. Well, all the questions we just talked about there, you can see why, right? A lot of people have issues around that, yeah? You can see your adrenals on the screen here on the slide that sit on top of the kidneys. That is that's a gland, right? We're working in the kidneys, which is an organ. So promoting good kidney health, water, right? Cranberry juice is good too. Absolutely. So proper care can keep your kidneys running, properly. So stay hydrated, to take rid of the toxins. As a matter of fact, we need to stay really hydrated today for all the toxins that is coming out due to all the clearings that we're doing. So, so if you feel thirsty, right? So eating foods and fruits, a lot of fruits and vegetables, high in water, and avoiding soda and caffeinated drinks and limiting alcohol would be great for the kidneys. So let's go into the kidneys right now. We are connected here to the master cell. Wonderful. Alrighty. Yes, we are ready. Okay. So let's send this beautiful healing energy now, matching the beauty, love, and perfection of your own master template. And the highest and best from God, source, to you right now. Sending this beautiful energy into the kidneys of this master cell, into the membrane surrounding the cell, into the nucleus, to all the organelles, all the mitochondria, all the spaces and places now inside this master cell, receiving this beautiful healing energy, and into the DNA strand itself. Checking for programs here. We're letting all these go. We're just letting all this go. We're sending it all down into the center of the earth. Beautiful healing energy there in the DNA strand, sending this gold healing energy through the strand. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, healing and sealing. Very good. Back to the master cell. All places and spaces here, the master cell. Taking on this perfection. All last bit of any darkness here, any density, let that go now. Very nice. Setting on this beautiful healing energy, this beautiful gold healing light coming through now into the master cell, matching all cells now of your kidneys are matching this beauty, love, and perfection of this perfected master cell. They're now all taking on the upgrade right now. Very nice. Beautiful. Very good. Okay, and I'm getting about 31 days that the cells will be in regrowth. All right, and looking at the bladder, so the bladder, while filtering, the kidneys produce urine to carry the toxins away. The urine is sent through 2 tubes called ureters down to the bladder, where the urine can then leave the body through the urethra. So, okay, again, the estrogen levels or compromise or programs stopping us, right? There can be you can get a UTI, urinary tract infection. So infections here. And so be sure again to drink plenty of water. That's why if you drink water plenty every day, every hour, every half hour, every maybe 15 minutes if you can, right? And then keeping away from caffeine, right? It irritates the bladder. So drinking cranberry juice instead, as it makes the bladder and urethra less hospitable to bacteria. So have a glass a day. They've got supplements too you can take. Yeah, and urinary tract infections are only secondary to respiratory infections in the numbers, prevalence, right? So the bladder and bladder cancer is being the 5th most common cancer in men. So again, water, cranberries, lifestyle, and letting go of these programs. Now, here's some questions you could take these offline too, and I get some answers for. Let's read them through real quick here for ourselves around bladder. What will it take to make change easier for me? What pressure am I under that I'm ready to let go of? What will it take for me to finally love myself completely? What would I do differently if I no longer felt so vulnerable? And what if I completely believed that my hopes and dreams can come true? What rules, traditions, customs, or behaviors am I afraid to let go of? And will releasing those rules really end in disaster? What can I do to be a little more spontaneous? What do I keep blaming my problems on and giving my power to? What will it take to stop it? And what will it take for me to be completely in balance with my sexuality? Remember, the bladder is in the sacral chakra area. That's the sexuality, power, creativity. So the affirmation, we could say this out loud. I easily release all rules and programs that are keeping me stuck in old programs. It is safe to be vulnerable now that I am an adult. I am completely comfortable in my own skin and in my sexuality. I could quickly transmute all dark negative energy and thought forms into light positive energy and thought forms. I no longer feed the dark side. Very good. So let's see if we're ready to move on to regeneration. I get yes. Very good. Okay, so we're connected here to the master cell of the bladder. Beautiful healing energy, connected, protected, grounded. Very nice. Bringing in this beautiful healing energy now, matching the beauty, love, and perfection of your own master template. And the highest and best from God's source to you right now. Ever that happens to be for you. Taking on this beautiful healing, this gold God healing energy coming into the master cell, into the membrane surrounding the cell, into the nucleus in the center, all the organelles. Beautiful, all the mitochondria. Taking on this beautiful healing energy, all the energy centers, all the spaces and places now in this master cell, taking on this perfected version from your own master template. And the highest and best from God, source, to you right now. Very nice. Let's check the DNA strand. Let's check for programs here. And letting go of all those programs. Let's just send all that now down to the center of the earth. All darkness, all density, all programs telling your bladder to be compromised, telling it to get a urinary tract infection, telling it to be hospitable to infections. Letting all that go. Bringing back creativity, pleasure, fun, bliss. Beautiful. Yes. Sending all that down to the center of the earth. All the negativity, density, darkness. Beauty, love, and perfection of your own master template. Coming online. Very nice. Oh, beautiful. Healing and sealing now of the master cell of this DNA strand. Very nice. Checking now for the light in the cell here. Beautiful. Bringing this light into this master cell. Total 100% optimal. Now is matching this beauty, love, and perfection to all cells of your bladder. All cells of your bladder now taking on the upgrade from this perfect master cell. Your bladder. Beautiful upgrade here. All the cells are happy. Oh boy. Taking on this beautiful healing energy. Okay. Very nice. Let's check here. The cells are all in regrowth. Beautiful. And I'm getting an average of 28 days. 28 days for the bladder to be in this regrowth period. Very good. We made it through all 5 organs of your elimination system, and we do require another drink. So yeah, and you're going to be wanting to hydrate the body throughout this whole period. The longest we have is 45 days for the liver, right? So if you can make a concerted effort to continue with being optimally hydrated for these 45 days, your body will love you and you will get the best results from this upgrade that we did here. Just know that the water that you take in, let's make sure that that's filtered and as clean as possible. The foods that you eat, organic, clean, healthy, whole as much as possible. Anything you put into your body, just know that it has the effect of helping you, assisting you with this process of upgrade, or it could actually halt or stop or slow the process of this upgrades. Things such as sleeping pills or painkillers. Not telling you not to take those. Just know that they could have an effect, negative effect, right? Same with alcohol, drugs, that kind of stuff, right? So make choices, accordingly, your own lifestyle, right? Now, another thing you could feel is maybe a little achiness or warmth, maybe in some of the areas here that we're dealing with today. So if your lungs or liver or kidneys, maybe if they ache a little bit, that could be normal. Okay, so just in the first day, maybe 2 up to 3, maybe that could be a normal thing, or a little. Being a little tired is actually part of that too, right? So you could be feeling a little tired. Just a little nap would help you out with that. Just mostly for the first 3 days. Now, another thing that is recommended is to being out in nature as much as possible, unplugging from the stressors of life and getting into the natural biorhythms of nature. It's essential that we get balanced with the biorhythms. Now, that means leaving your cell phone at home and everything else, maybe bringing that journal with you and some of these questions that we went over earlier. And you can ask yourself, ask your higher self, your body, your cells, to give you answers. You demand answers, and then just sitting there quietly until you get them. Journal them, being thankful, being grateful for how your body, how your liver is watching out for you all the time, keeping you warm or cool and healthy, right? So if you do have a chronic condition, again, it's recommended that we do a session together, find the unique things blocking health for you, and let those go. And we will send a link for that in an email that will be coming out here shortly. Yes, we do have upcoming, we have a healing retreat for certification. This is at yourbodypower.com/retreataz/CERT2-1020/. /. So let me let me get that in a link here, and I'll put it into the chat box so it can be easier for you to just click on. If anybody is on here, that's another thing. If you had trouble connecting, but I'm going to put it in the chat box here. So paste. Okay. There it is. All right. So yeah, we are going to be doing this healing retreat, and it is for a real certification of energy healer, right? So the things that I do. So the energy, moving energy, getting your life force up to optimal, the things that we did with our chakras, our aura, letting go of all attachments, getting your body and your consciousness and your energy centers all up to par, right? So we are going to be doing that in October. So there's a link for that. I highly recommend it for you if you are, wanting to do healing work for yourself, your family, friends, and or for clients. I teach you how to do that as well. So I want to thank you for attending. The recording of today's session will be emailed to you here after it's rendered today. And I want to thank you all for taking the time for doing this for yourself, right? Let me come back on here. Yeah, absolutely. For taking this time out for yourself to give yourself this gift, this beautiful healing gift. And to right now, your body knows that you're serious, that you are loving it. And it is responding by taking on this beautiful upgrade of new cell growth, letting go of all that doesn't belong. So giving yourself the nourishment, the hydration that it requires to continue to keep this going is all that's required. And you are definitely loved. Your cells are loving you right now. I can see them. They're real happy. They're real happy cells. They're basking in this golden energy, and just you can just see the health coming back, right? They're just beaming with love and health. So yeah, so thank you, thank yourself, thank your body. You're absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate every single one of you. So again, my gratitude, my gratefulness. Namaste. Wonderful. I'll be ending the live stream now.